The way that the All Blacks go about things from a coaching perspective and then from a playing is quite different now, is that they have a lot more education when it comes to the mental side of the game, as far as understanding about skills are about understanding the process and about practicing the process. But if we concentrate on the outcome or the result, i.e. throwing the ball in straight to a line out or kicking the goal between the posts, i.e. Johnny Sexton in 2013, if he concentrated on the process that day, he would have nailed that penalty and Ireland would have won that game. But he was probably concentrating too much on the outcome, i.e. kicking the goal, and changed his whole process. I was watching the game live and I said he's taken too long and he missed it. If your mind and body are in alignment, you create what's called flow. And everyone sort of has been in sport is like that. Whether they're playing golf or playing a game of tennis, you have those days where you just think everything goes right. A goal kicker, for example, or and that's where your focus is very much aligned with what you're trying to achieve. In New Zealand, it's very much at the moment, and this is the mode at the moment, is about developing skills, core skills that you require in the game, and then position-specific skills that are very specific to your position and the role that you're asked to perform within the team. And then it's really about, on the training field, continually developing that, then creating scenarios that mirror game-like situations, and putting the players under that pressure with the same sort of intensity. So, creating a hostile environment on the training field where it's actually more intensive than it's actually going to happen on the field. Whereas the Northern Hemisphere is still very much about creating shape and patterns and systems, and about staying within the system. So what that does is it creates synergy, and I understand that. It creates synergy as far as players understanding what everyone else is doing, but it doesn't allow that flamboyancy, or an individual who might see something and they have the skill set to execute something, they're wrapped over the knuckles because the coach says, we didn't do that at training. Some of the stories I could tell you about Leinster in the early days, were terrible to, where they are when we finished with them, and then when Joe took over. Drico was a marvellous player in 2005, but, in 2009 when I left, he was a far better player. Not because of me, but I think because of the environment, and even more so because I think he took on this philosophy that he wanted to be as good as he could be, and he wanted Leinster and Ireland to be as good as they could be as a team. And it doesn't matter whether you've got the ball or whether you haven't got the ball, you have to attack them for 80 minutes. They did that, probably for 72, 74 minutes. They ran out of petrol, it was a little bit. They were hardened internationally, the All Blacks, but they were tired. But the Irish were probably lacking that little bit of conditioning to play at that level for the 80 minutes. But I think more than that, I remember watching Das in the last 5 minutes. He was cramping up and he was running on one leg, and he'd just given everything. They deserved to win that game. I remember walking out of the stadium with my sort of jacket over my head, thinking, oh God, and Sean Fitzpatrick was in a corporate box, and he said at the end of the game he actually hid under a table because he was embarrassed, because Ireland had put so much into the game. So you've got to score points against the All Blacks, because if you don't score points, they're going to score points against you. So that's the whole idea of, you must keep attacking them and try and get into their mindset that they have to defend you. The mindset of this current All Black team, the players and the management, is just about what other ways can we work on to keep improving. They're not happy to play the level that they were in 2015 at the World Cup. They've gone on another level.